Hello, everyone. Pete Byrne, WSBT-22 Sports, joined as always by Tyler James of blueandgold.com. Tyler, Notre Dame now 2-2 after, I think, an even more impressive win down in Arkansas than what we saw a week ago against Purdue. And slowly but surely, the defense is starting to improve. And Marcus Freeman said today that that is a result of simplifying things on his end.
Yeah, I think you could argue that Arkansas maybe has the best offense that Notre Dame's played against this season. Certainly didn't look like that the way Notre Dame's defense played against it, and the fact that Notre Dame was able to slow Arkansas's passing game down was huge, given the struggles with the secondary and the defensive line getting pass rush. And Marcus Freeman talks about the coverage is maybe not doing fewer of them, like you're probably still going to do cover 3, cover 2, cover 1, but maybe doing it in fewer ways, like trying not to put too many different things on the plates of the secondary players to make sure that they know why they're doing, what they're supposed to do, and then how you're supposed to do it. Those are the main things that they're trying to nail down to make sure that they have confidence in what they're doing on the back end.
We've got the last 2 weeks as a trend, but it's certainly not anywhere close to a full season. And as Marcus Freeman, to use his word, challenges everything. Where does he continue to challenge his defense? Where does the next stretch of growth come from, do you think?
Yeah, I think it's making sure that pass defense stays strong and gives up less explosive plays as it did against Arkansas, and then making sure that it's not getting gashed at times in the running game. I thought Arkansas ran the ball pretty well against Notre Dame in the first half, and because of the score, Arkansas really didn't have an opportunity to do that in the second half. They needed to try to come back faster, and so that made it maybe easier for Notre Dame's pass defense as well when you're sort of expecting the pass. And so I think it's giving up fewer explosive runs. They had some issues with that. Granted, they may not play another running quarterback as well as Taylor Green the rest of the season because he is good on his legs. So that brings another layer of a challenge to the defense. But making sure that they're still sharp up front against the run while making sure the back end is still good with not giving up those big plays.
Yeah, and maybe not another quarterback as dangerous on the ground as Taylor Green, but Boise State nonetheless very good at running the football from what we understand.
Yeah, and they've used 3 different running backs at times this season. Obviously, you need a lot of guys to replace Ashton Genty, the Heisman finalist of last season, but Boise State's going to want to try to run the football if they can, and that'll be important for Notre Dame to try to slow down, figure out ways to make sure that they can contain those guys and especially like the explosive plays, because that's how offenses can get some confidence rolling, and then that, especially if you're worried about stopping the run, then maybe sometimes you get susceptible to pass plays. So I think stopping that run against Boise State will be very important.
On the flip side, Notre Dame's offense has been pretty close to perfect the last 2 weeks. I think only 2 possessions that the starting offense has run that hasn't resulted in touchdowns, and Marcus Freeman pointed out where it wasn't perfect. But nonetheless, well, what is going so well for this group?
Everything, pretty much. I mean, I think there's been improvement across the board. I think the way that Notre Dame is running the ball and getting the ball to Jeremiah Love and Jadarian Price has been better with play calling and execution. CJ Carr is taking the offense to the next level in terms of his confidence in stretching the field. Calling checks into O-line protections, checks into wide receivers, doing different routes because of what they're seeing in the coverage. So I think there's a mastery that's way ahead of his experience level that we're seeing so far. And I think offensive line, especially in pass pro, has seen an increase in their level of play because, one, they're not playing Ruben Bain on a weekly basis, but 2, I just think they're getting more confident in what they're doing, and having that rapport with CJ Carr is really, really working out well.
And for more about CJ Carr, I'd encourage you to go to WSBT.com, where your partner Eric Hansen and I had a conversation today just about how far ahead he is for as young as he is in his Irish football career. We have kind of a unique setting this week. Notre Dame played a first-time opponent a week ago in Arkansas. They're going to play a first-time opponent again this week at Boise State. It's rare that a program with as much history as Notre Dame plays a new opponent anytime, but to get 2 in a row is very unique. Is there anything interesting you're looking forward to this week, seeing a team that we've not had a chance to cover yet?
Yeah, Boise State is an interesting team. Sort of, I think going into the year, people thought that maybe they would be the top group of 5 or group of 6, however we're describing them these days, candidate to maybe make the playoff again like it did last season. I don't think Boise State has played up to that level based off of its season opener against USF, but I think it's a talented team, has a strong reputation, and I'm sure Boise State has long enjoyed this underdog role that it has, and coming into Notre Dame Stadium, there's not really a bigger underdog role that it could probably imagine than this. So not that Notre Dame's invincible by any means, but they're gonna play that up and have a chip on their shoulder, and it'll be interesting to see what they come up with to try to catch Notre Dame off guard with.
Yeah, and if they are the team to beat in the group of 5 or claim to be, no better way for them to show it than this Saturday in this building against a Notre Dame team that is ranked now 21st in the country. People react every Saturday like it's life or death. And 2 weeks ago we heard season's over. Now I'm starting to read they've got this, run the table 10-2, you're in. Where's the reality? Because it's somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, I think the playoff discussions before October are kind of silly. I know that everything is looking forward to that, so it's hard to avoid that. But I think what's more important is like how Notre Dame is improving to be worthy of that conversation eventually. Whether people want to have that discussion now or later, that's up to them. But I think what's important for Notre Dame and this football team is finding ways to show its value on the football field and impose its will against opposing teams, which it didn't necessarily do in the first 2 games of the season, and continue to show its ability to live up to the potential. I mean, I sound like Marcus Freeman a little bit in terms of living up to the potential, but that's what Notre Dame has to focus on right now rather than worrying about if it wins out, if it's going to get in the playoff or not.
Yeah, you sound like him because the message is the same every week regardless of the result. He's Tyler James. You can check out his stuff and his crew's stuff anytime at blueandgold.com. Of course, we're going to have lots more with the Fighting Irish all this week as they get set to play Boise State at 3:30 on Saturday in the annual Irish Wear Green game. If you are fortunate enough to be coming to the game, I think they want you wearing a green shirt, regardless of whether or not you enjoy the game in person or on television. We'll be back here next week with more conversations of the Fighting Irish as we look ahead to their next opponent. Thanks for being with us.
I'm Pete Byrne from WSBT-22 News. For more Notre Dame stories, like and subscribe to the WSBT-22 YouTube page. Thanks for watching.